Assalamu alaikum students. I hope that you have understood very well about the internal trade. Now the new topic that we are going to read is about the external trade or international trade. International or external trade is the exchange of capital, goods and services across the borders or territories of a country because there is a need or want of goods or the services. In most countries, such trade represents a significant share of gross domestic product, which is known as the GDP. Here you can see the two persons are shaking hands because they are agreed to exchange goods and services between their countries. It also involves jobs plus consumption, environmental issues plus natural resources, and the fashion industries. It provides goods and services, increase revenues, long product lifespan, easier cash flow management, better risk management, benefiting from currency exchange, and disposable of surplus goods. It creates job. International trade also motivates workers to produce the goods or services better in other countries. Supply and demand affects global events, for example, oil and political conditions. Paves the way for the globalization. Globalization is the integration of economies and cultures through a global network of political ideas through communication, transportation, and trade. Here you can find the domestic versus international factors which affect. In domestic trade, you can free to move from one state to another within the same country, but in international trade, it is restricted. The other factor is movement of goods. In domestic trade, it's easier to move goods without much restrictions, but in international trade, you have restricted and complicated custom procedures and trade barriers like tariff, quotas, or embargo. The other domestic versus international factor is the currency, because in domestic trade you have the same currency, but international trade you have to deal with the international currency, that is will be dollar or euro. Markets in domestic trade we have limited for the limited population that we have inside the country, whereas international trade we have the broad markets. Language and culture barriers also affect the domestic and international trade, as in domestic trade speaks and practice same culture, we can deal the business in the same way, but communication challenges occurs in an international trade because of language and our cultural barriers. Tariffs imposed on price of imports, which causes an increase in the revenue of the government. It encourages demand for domestic products and demand for imports decreases. We have a World Trade Organization which have some policies, deals with the rules of trade between nations at a global or a near global level. operates a system of trade rules, a forum for government to negotiate trade agreements and to settle disputes between the countries. That's all for today, children. Thank you.